What is good, everybody? It is your boy Ant, one half of Delinquent Doer here, coming at you with a Drytron deck profile for the January 2021 format. This is one of the better decks of the meta, this format for sure, and it has gone through a decent amount of changes, but I would not say that it is fully solved yet. This is the list that I have been rocking and grinding on DB with. Um, I'm kind of getting stomped a lot, to be honest, because there's so much hate for Drytron right now. So I actually wouldn't recommend playing this deck at all. I think everybody should go switch to Virtual World, so that way they have to side against that deck, and then I can go back to playing Drytron because less people are going to side against this. But anyways, regardless of the state of the meta right now, this is still one of the better decks, and this list that I have right here is kind of a combination of uh, a lot of playtesting by myself and some tips from the people on DB that are playing the techs like Instant Fusion, trying to fit in the called by in there, and yeah, this is just what I have come up with for my personal liking of the deck and what I think I want it to do. So let's go through the deck profile really quick. But if you guys like this content, please consider giving us a like and subscribing. And yeah, let's get into the deck profile. First, we have triple copies of Nova, and then triple Fafnir, triple Cyber Emergency, and then the one Foolish Burial. And then for the actual Drytron names, we have 3 Alpha, 2 Zeta, 2 Delta, and then 1 Gamma. So I want to go over this a little bit. Just this is the Drytron lineup that I have, and I think this ratio is pretty good. I was doing a lot of like 3 Zeta and 3 Alpha, but I figured I like Zeta less because I seem to always draw the ritual spell, and if I don't, there's multiple ways to get it with the Fafnir or with the Manju, especially now that a lot of people are just going to the ultimateness combo immediately and not doing the Vanities Ruler. Um, you're more likely to just draw it or use this off of Nova, and then or this gets the ritual spell, or Manju gets ultimateness. So all the combo pieces like work in sync with that. So he's less important to like see more copies of your ritual spell. And then I like Delta a lot because when you do have the ritual spell, then you draw this and say like a Nova or a field spell. Delta actually comes in really clutch because it could draw you an extra card. Usually I'm drawing into a lot of like good fairy cards at that point. To like I'm getting into my ultimateness. If I miss it, I can get into another orange light or draw an Eva. So it's pretty good for that reason. I like that a lot. And then just the one Gamma because even though if this gets stopped, I think you still could do with just one of, because at that point you're just going to go into Natasha anyways if that doesn't get, DD Crota or whatever. But yeah, one Gamma is good just for the combo. And then of course just the one ritual spell. You only need one of these. I think not too many people are worried about like getting this out of the graveyard. They're worried more about the Ben 10s and the Alpha. So one is just decent enough. And then I play the Petite Angel as well to get another Ben 10, and then also to search off of the Eva. Next we got the Manju, like I said earlier. This is just to get the Herald of Ultimateness now, or to get the ritual spell that you may have missed. But you have so many different, it's just so many different names of the ritual spell pretty much. And yeah, Manju is there to help out that combo. Takes up your normal summon now, so now you really have no use of normal summoning Vanities Ruler because Ultimateness is usually just more consistent to go to anyways. I still do like Vanities Ruler, and as you see I don't have it in this deck at all. And I was playing it in my side for a little bit, but I'll explain a little bit later on why I made the choices to my side deck that I did. But Ultimateness is pretty good. I think maybe Vanity's Ruler could be, something that we go back to eventually. But right now I'm just trying to squeeze in more hand traps and whatnot. So yeah, Ultimateness is there for that. And then we have the Dawn Knight, which is pretty much the one brick that you're going to attach with Union Carrier, and then send another Drytron name. Drawing this guy isn't too bad sometimes, especially when you're going second. You could just like go and then attack into something. But I usually seem to draw the Manju and the Dawn Knight together a lot, which really sucks. Anyways, we got the 3 prep and then the 3 Benten. This is the whole point of your deck right here is to just recycle Benten as much as you can, and that's how you get so much advantage in the hand traps and then the Herald of Ultimateness. And yeah, this card might get limited one day, but won't be for a long time. We also have the Herald of Ultimateness, and this is just like one of the best boss monsters right now because it can negate the summon of a monster. And usually, even if you don't get into Herald of Ultimateness, what I did like about Vanity's Ruler was that you could set up Vanity's Ruler and then have hand traps as well. So you could even have like yourself like a Lancia, Eva, and Herald, and that's like 2 more hand traps. That's a lot for your opponent to try to break through. And the hand trap is really good of Orange Light because it negates and destroys. It's pretty much a Gamma, which is one of the best hand traps as well. So yeah, that's why I really like this deck, because a lot of the best boards that you make are actually in the hand. And I think that we're going to figure out a way eventually to have more hand traps in our hand and less board presence. Yeah, I think that'll be an interesting build that I'm working on as well. Anyways, we have the Cyber Angel Natasha. This is a great card if you are going second because it could just suck up any monster. It's really crazy actually. It's a really good fairy monster, and you could even search it for follow up next turn, and you just seal the deal. We have the Eva and Orange Light package for the hand traps right here. This is where you're going to search off Ben 10 to finish off your combo to give you ultimateness, ammo. And then the Eva is so good because it could just add you back your Petite and another Orange Light, which is just another hand trap. So you're pretty much always having like 2 hand traps in your hand when you do your combo. Then we also have the Ash. This is a hand trap that I was off of for a little bit, but I think the meta that I'm at on my DB ladder, which is like the 600 to 700 range, there's a lot of like kind of roguish decks, and they lose to Ash Blossom harder. I was actually maining Ghost Bell for a long time to play against like the Drytron mirror match, and then this is also good against a decent amount of decks, but I'd rather just honestly have the Ash to out the straight up Red Eyes Fusion, because that is like one of the most annoying things. But we also have the Lancia for the next hand trap. This is a searchable hand trap because it's a fairy off of the Ben 10. So even if you are playing against something like the Virtual World matchup, which I think this is the hardest matchup for Drytron, you got to side in the Lancias, of course, and then you could search the Lancia off of Ben 10 if you get stopped enough to kind of help stop their turn. Finally, for the 2 like protection cards that I have, it is just Called By and then Instant Fusion. Called By just to beat Droll, because a lot of people are starting to main deck that, and you just gotta main deck Called By to beat Droll, because that is just, it really is a turn ender for you. No matter what you do, you really just have to stop. So Called By and Instant Fusion are ways to stop that from happening. If you just Instant Fusion out the Millennium Eyes Restrict, it's basically another Called By the Grave for Droll and other cards like Ash and stuff, so helps you a lot to play through those hand traps. Going on to the extra right quick, we gotta have, of course, talk about the Union Carrier, the best card in your extra deck right here. This is what you're trying to turbo out in order to attach your Dawn Knight to get your Gamma in the grave most of the time. The Union Carrier is just so great for this deck because it's just a machine that you can use to ritual summon with the Medionis Drytron, and yeah, it's just one of the best cards. You definitely need to play at least one of these, of course. There's honestly just no more room for 2 because a lot of people were playing 2 at a certain time because I thought it was that important, but really, you just need one of these guys pretty much. and then the rest will work itself out for sure. We also have the Link Karibo and Relinquished Anima, because this is just makes Nova a 1-card Union Carrier as well, and it's just insane. And then we also have the best boss monster of our deck, the AA Zeus. This guy is just insane to go through with the you know, Nightingale, and then I also have this, which I'll talk about later. But yeah, going into Downer from those, going into Zeus, you get 2 sends, 2 board wipes. It's really, really good, and that's what wins you a lot of games, especially going second. And then against the trap decks. Of course, we have the Downer Magician, which I just mentioned, just to go for the Zeus, and then the Princess Sprite, which is something that I was testing out initially. I had cut it for a while, but now I am just using it. I kind of don't know how I feel about it. I think that it gets you a lot of great, like, if you're stuck in a certain spot and you just need to, like, oh, I just need to draw a card right here, or mill a Drytron monster, then I'll be good. So it's kind of good in that sense. But yeah, it's kind of like win more if it does come up, because I feel like you already have enough advantage to get 2 Drytron names. You know, why would you go for this when you could just probably go for your Union Carrier play? But it comes up. It works, especially just as another 1800 body. You could, like, go through a clicker board and then just attack direct for 1800, which I've done multiple times, and then go into Downward, and then I save the Nightingale, for later on if need be. Yeah, we have the Boral Sword here, which I like a lot, but I might switch it out for just another Zeus, because I think Zeus is just that crazy to have like 2 of it in there. But Boral Sword does come up sometimes where you just like need that extra little push of damage that access code wouldn't be able to give you. But I think access code usually is enough sometimes, because you just get so much link fodder to banish from your graveyard when you actually link climb up to access code. So yeah, sometimes I think access code is just enough. Might switch it out just to play 2 Zeus. Anyways, the Mirage Light is another nice mini boss to end on, because it can almost do the same thing against trap decks as a Ultimate Nis would do when you just add Eva, and then you get all the other heralds in there. Then we also have the Phoenix to spin back or to destroy the traps, Nightmare Unicorn and IP to get you a nice spin back right there. And then we also have the Geonator. This is great for its switch effect, but also great for its effect where the monsters it points to can't be destroyed. So really helps you protect some of your monsters that you would rather want on the field at a certain moment. And then finally the Millennium as a strict for the instant fusion target and a little bit of protection, and helps you break boards a little bit as well. So there you go. To go over the side right quick, we just have the 1 red reboot, double twin, and then the Harpy's Feather Duster for the back row removal. I do want to point out that I did have a triple twin in here at one point, but I think that you can play through enough back row, but it's just really the floodgates you have to worry about. 4 cards I think is pretty good enough to side against those decks though, even when you could just ash them as well. Then we also have the Droll. Gotta play the Droll. It's for the mirror. It can be for Virtual World. And then we also have the Ghost Bell. I actually play this mostly to protect myself against the Psycho Reader, because that actually really, really hurts your deck when you get Psycho Reader, but Bell can actually protect against that. So just another protection. And then it's a pretty decent hand trap. So yeah, she's pretty decent. Finally, 2 Artifact Lancia to get the 3rd one. We have the 3rd one in the deck right here. So yeah, 2 Lancia just for the Virtual World matchup, probably the hardest matchup for you. Then we have the 3 Droplet, of course, pretty much for the mirror, and then any other like kind of rogue combo deck as well. So there you go. That is the whole deck profile. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below. Have you been playing against a lot of Drytron lately? Have you been playing Drytron lately? Let me know your thoughts on the deck in the comments below. And yeah, if you guys like it, remember, like, sub, all that good stuff. Delinquent Duo signing out. Peace.